Good morning. This is Holly with Holly's Joys, and we're going to go through this recycled glass tumbling for doing art pieces with broken bits of recycled glass, and we're making them safe to use by smoothing the edges through tumbling. So I've got all of my equipment. I think I've got everything here from soup to nuts on how to do it. So I've got the broken glass. Just real quick, go through. These are the broken bits. And if you want to see how I broke them, there's another video. I just used like tile cutters and I just nipped them into small pieces. So that's what those are. And then I have some warm water just because this thing will not fit in the sink and my garden hose is frozen. So there's that. And then I've got my sand, which I'll use for my abrasive during tumbling. I've got a sieve here and I've got my big concrete tray. And then I have my tumbler. It's a rock tumbler that I bought off Amazon, and this is just the body of it, not the mechanics. So here we go. This is full of a batch of glass that I tumbled. So you just unscrew the lid. The lid comes in two pieces, which I think is very interesting and took me a little bit to figure out when I first got my tumbler. So you'll have a heads up on me. So I took the lid, the knob off the lid, and I have a little, I don't know, butter knife-ish thing that I just pry this off because my nails are not strong enough to get that off. So that's the top of the lid, and it kind of fits over the tumbler, which is rubber. So it's very pliable when you squeeze it. I don't know if you can really see that there, but I can get this little butter knife on the edge, and I just make it easy on myself and pry it out very slightly, and it's pretty easy to do. So that's not too bad today. A lot of times this will be full of foam and all kinds of weird stuff, but today it's just dirty water. So this is what it looks like when you're all finished. And I'm going to just dump it into this sieve. And I did cream colored and white pieces. I do like to have them separated by color as much as possible. I don't have it 100% that way, but I do like that. That way when I go to do a project, if I have a certain color that I want, I don't have to dig through all of them. I've got them kind of sorted by color. So these are stuck, if you can see in there, they're stuck to the side, that silt that has gotten the edges of the glass smooth. It forms almost like a clay. It's very strange. So I'm just going to dig it out of there with this little butter knifey thing and stick it in my sieve here. See, if I were outside, this would be a lot easier. I just set it on the ground and garden hose it. Because you do not want to run this down your sink. It's very caustic, and I don't know what it would do to your drain. It would not be good, that's for sure. So, goodness, these are really adhered to the bottom. I am curious about this leftover stuff, if you could use it as some kind of a clay. I mean, it's made with sand and then little bits of sheared off glass that are so small they're not rough anymore. So it'd be interesting to see what you could do with that. Because I'm a recycled artist. I'm a recycled artist. I like to use recycling in my art as much as I can. And so that would be a really interesting recycling idea to explore. Okay, I got most of it. So I'm just going to set this guy down in here because he's going to need rinsed out more. And then I put gloves on today. I don't normally use gloves. If I'm outside and I'm doing it, it's fine. But in here, I'm going to use gloves. Plus, it's really cold out today. My hands are really cold. I'm just using what water is in here just to get this. It doesn't have to be perfect, just decent. And I'll show you here in just a second. Oh, that stuff is really stuck on there. Somebody, you decided to do this and you do a project with that goo. That would be really interesting. I'd like to see what you do. Okay, so that's pretty good. So there's that. And then I'll just dump this outside. I usually put it in my landscaping because it's stone. So, should be fine. Then I have this jar that I showed you earlier of broken glass bits, and I went to use it yesterday and I was like, oh my goodness, these have not been tumbled yet. So, we're tumbling about half of it. Oops, about half of it today, maybe a little more. If I dumped that whole thing in there, you can see this is about half full. It would be very full. And then there wouldn't be room for the glass to tumble around when this little part of the tumbler is attached to the machine. So we want to make sure there's plenty of room for the glass to move. Then I've got this little scoop. It's just play sand. And this is part of my recycling too. I just had this play sand in the garage and I thought, I'm going to give it a try. When you buy your tumbler, it comes with caustic materials, but I looked it up. To buy it, to use is expensive. So I thought, you know what? I'll just try this. If it works, yay. If it doesn't, I'm only out this little scoop. But it seems to work. It worked fine for me with what I'm doing with the glass. Now with rocks, it may be different. So then we're going to fill up the tumbler just over the glass bits. So it's just a little higher than the glass bits. I don't want to tilt it too much. There you go. And that's all there is to it. And then we still got a little bit that needs tumbled. Then you do the reverse on the lid. You put this lid, and it goes inside of the lip. There's like a little groove in there, and it keeps the water from coming out. You got to put the outside lid on, or it won't keep the water from coming out. This is what really battens it down. So you stick this. This one goes on the outside. I don't know if you noticed, it's got kind of a lip. It's got a little rim around it. This one was completely flat. So then you put that one, lipped one down, and you screw it on. And I recommend tightening this down as much as it'll go. Now, I don't have super strong hands, so I just go as far as I could go. Now, if I had my husband do it, he'd probably be able to screw this right through the lid. So, don't do that. Just screw it till it doesn't want to go any further, and then it's good to go. And then this will go onto my tumbler machine, and I will tumble it on 3, which is the highest setting my tumbler has, and I will do it for 2 days. And then I'll be all set to start the next batch. So that's all there is to it. And I'm going to go ahead and rinse off my pieces over here. I don't know, can you see me? Probably a little bit. I've got my sink right here, and I'm going to just wash these off. And I've got dish soap, squirt a little in my hand, getting them really wet, and then I just rub them around, put the water off so I don't rinse the soap off right away. And I'm just going to work that dish soap around. Nothing has to be perfect. That is not what we're headed for here. Perfection is not the goal. And then I'm going to rinse it off. There. Pretty good. And then I'll just take some of the water off. I don't want to drip across my kitchen floor. And then I'm just going to dump this out on my towel to dry. And that goes to the side. I know I didn't get my bubbles off real good. See, perfection is not the goal. Just get it. And it did its job and it looks good. I don't see any of that goo stuck on any of them. Now, if I go to use these and I do find one that has a bit of that goo on it, it's not a catastrophe.